Mr. Fuller, you and your mother are here today to prove that you fathered the defendant's 2-year-old daughter, Milani.
Yes, ma'am.
You say Ms. Nelson led you to believe that you were her daddy and build a strong relationship, but now wants to rip her away from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Nelson, you acknowledge Mr. Fuller's relationship with your daughter, but say you are now certain that he is not your child's father and will prove it in court.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Nelson, what are your intentions today if the DNA results prove you're correct?
They will never see my daughter again, and their time just has expired with my child.
Wow. That's kind of harsh considering they have a relationship with her, isn't it?
Barely.
So, Mr. Fuller, tell me about the relationship you have with little Milani.
I got a bond with Milani. She'll bring her hair to me. She'll let her stay the night and everything for about 3 months.
Not 3 months. I'm positive.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Have you allowed Milani to spend the night with
I
him?
have allowed her to spend the night with them.
We live in Fort Lauderdale. She stay in Melbourne. We have this baby 2 to 3 months.
You guys had her for
whenever
a few
she
weeks.
need us
No, we
to
don't.
leave.
You had her for
I
a few weeks.
Ms. Fuller, I need to ask you, do you believe this is your son's
From
biological
day one when
child?
this girl called me, I said, oh, I'm a grandmother. I said,
I never
Miss
called you.
Nelson,
I never even had
I
the number
promise
to get in
God,
contact
I
with
would tell you no lie.
So, Ms. Nelson,
Right.
as you recall, how did you let Mr. Fuller know you were pregnant?
I called him, he didn't answer. I saw that he was on Facebook, and then I wrote him on Facebook.
You say you never called his mother.
She called
Never
my
called his
phone.
mother. I didn't
wouldn't
even
tell
have
you
his
no
mother's
lie, you
number.
want- She called my phone and said she was pregnant. When she had to go to appointments, she called and let us know too.
What appointment
I
are you
wouldn't
guys
tell no lie.
referring to?
We accept that baby from day one. From day one. Anything that you ask us to do for this
always
baby,
here
we've been
for
there
this
for this
baby.
baby.
You guys have
Always.
been there as far as now with my
Always.
financial situation.
come on, the
Other than that,
okay,
you guys
come
do
on.
nothing for
Okay,
my
let's-
child.
let's get some order.
You do
You
nothing
know.
for my child.
Let's get some order.
Nothing.
I don't know why
You don't do a
changed
thing for
all
my
of a
child.
sudden, but you never act like this with us. So I don't even know why you doing this. You should never put us through this.
Miss Fuller?
As much as I love this baby, I love this baby with all my heart. All my heart, and you know this.
I don't know anything.
What you mean?
I don't know a
What
thing.
you mean?
Y'all ain't doing nothing for my child.
Wait, Miss Nelson.
Y'all ain't doing nothing for
Let's
my
get some
child.
order. Let's get some order. Stop talking. Miss Nelson, as much as Miss Fuller is
What?
off the hook right now,
It's like this.
I really can't blame her because if I thought I had a grandchild, they spending a month at my house, whatever.
I'm confused.
And then all of a sudden, somebody tells me it's not my grandchild, I might be off the hook too. Why is it you believe he's not the father?
From day one, I never believed that he was the father,
You
Your
told
Honor.
me out your
I've
mouth.
never believed that
asked
he
you,
was the
Quandra.
father.
Why is
Hold
them
on,
here
hold on,
today?
hold on.
Why
Hold
is
on.
them
Wait,
here
I'm not
today?
talking.
Let her
I'm not.
answer.
here
Thank
today.
you. Can
Let
I
her
answer?
answer. Let her answer.
Shut up.
Day
Let her
one,
answer.
I asked
And
her,
let me
I said,
answer.
do you
Shut
know
up and let me
if you slept
answer.
with any other guy, she
Shut up
told
and let
me
me
no.
answer.
I said,
Hold on. Stop talking. We have got to talk one at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
man, this is...
Okay, Miss Nelson, when you're going to your doctor's appointments, he's not coming.
Nothing.
When you're in the hospital giving birth to the baby, who's with you?
A family member.
When the baby's born, do you inform them? Do they come to the hospital?
I did not inform them at all. My mother, behind my back, called them.
Okay.
Okay, now, once she called them, did they come to see the baby?
No, they did not.
How did they ever form a relationship with the child?
My baby was about 5 or 6 months old. I was at work. I was with someone, in a relationship with someone, and they were...
So now at 5 months old, when the child's 5 months old, you're in a new relationship.
No, I was in a relationship before him.
Oh, before Mr. Fuller.
Me and the other guy was just on a break. So he
So
just
you
something
you
that
slept
happened.
with Mr. Fuller when you were on a break
Right,
from another
just
guy.
something that
so then
happened
you and that
that
guy
I
got
regret.
back together.
Really?
Right,
And at 5 months, you were with this other guy.
right.
And but then they came to see the baby and somehow.
Behind my back. I didn't even know they were in town.
Okay, Miss Fuller and Mr. Fuller. She claims that there was a point that her family member went behind her back and allowed you access to Milani. Did that happen that way?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm thinking all along she knew about this. How we supposed to know?
You didn't know that this was some secret, like
We
I'm
didn't
going
know.
behind
I
her.
didn't know. He didn't know anything.
So you think
everything was like a hush hush.
So Miss Nelson, did you ever say, I know my mother reached out to you, that was behind my back. You're really not Milani's biological father. Did you ever say that?
I did tell them that he was not, I told Devontae that he was not her father before she was even born.
But let me tell you something. This baby is a bond with me and with this boy. Let me tell you something. We love this baby.
You don't have, your son doesn't have her.
You know
have
we
her.
love
Your
this baby.
child
You
does
know,
not,
Taquana, please. I don't even know why you
even
putting us through
have
this.
her. Your son, you have her. When I call, your son is not even there half the time when I call. Oh, she's with my mom. She's with my mom.
Be there. They got girl time. My mom and my sister, that's girl time. That's girl time.
So let's get some order. Let's get some order. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Mr. Fuller, do you have any proof that she told you that you were the father?
Yes, Your Honor. I got proof right here.
I'd like to see that. Ron, can you hand me that?
Yes, ma'am.
These are text messages.
Yeah.
So from Miss Nelson, I see a message that says, we made a beautiful little angel. I love you, Milani. Then Mr. Fuller says, I know BM, our baby, very beautiful. Thank you, that must be thank you, BM for Milani. BM is
Hey, mama and baby daddy.
Next page, Devontae Fuller sends a message, beautiful BM. And then Miss Nelson sends, thanks, BD. It sounds like to me you're communicating about the baby like it's his. Now this last piece of evidence in the folder is a picture. And this is a picture of you, Mr. Fuller?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Milani?
Yes, ma'am.
And you submitted this to show what exactly?
Because she looked just like me. Look, just like me. She got my nose, my forehead.
Your Honor, after the 5 months when my mother again went behind my back, I was at work. Went behind my back, calling them. I didn't even know they were in Melbourne. I didn't even know they were in town. I'm on my job. The other guy who I was with, he's blowing me up, so I'm figuring something's wrong. How can you, after 5 months, no contact with me, but come to my household, my house where I live?
But if your
We
mama,
came
if
to the
your mama got a
Come to
contact,
my house. I
called us and told us
But
to
you come to my
over
house
and
while
see
I'm
the
at
baby.
work.
She was in
While
the
I'm
car
at
with us.
work.
She called us
While I'm at
and
work,
I
though.
told her.
Okay.
I told
But
her,
listen.
no, I don't think we should come because it's gonna cause
Okay, so
problems.
then you knew.
And she said, no, y'all gonna come and see the baby.
Okay,
I don't care.
hold on. Miss Fuller, why did you think at that moment that it would cause problems for you to see the baby?
Because
if the
I knew the other guy was over there, and I told her, Mom, we don't need to go over there. And she said, look, this y'all grandbaby.
Okay, we've heard a lot of testimony about your mother, Miss Nelson. And thank goodness she was able to come to court today because I want to hear from her. Ron, will you please escort Miss Johnson into the courtroom?
Right through here, up the stairs, and have a seat next to the judge.
Ms. Johnson, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Do you believe Mr. Fuller is Milani's biological father?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Why do you believe your daughter cannot even believe that's a possibility that he's her biological father? What do you think this is about?
The other guy.
The other guy.
When her and the other guy gets mad, it's Mr. Fuller's baby. When her and Mr. Fuller's not speaking, then it's the other guy's baby.
Oh.
Ew.
So she tells the other guy it's his baby too.
Well, the other guy said once before that it wasn't his baby.
So, Miss Nelson, do you believe he's not the father, or do you just not want him to be the father? Because that's two different things.
No, it's both. I don't want him to be the father, and I know he's not the father.
What you mean, Milani? You know we
I'm
love
not
this
talking
baby,
to
man.
y'all.
I'm not
talking
pray
to
for this
y'all.
baby.
I'm not talking to y'all no more.
Take
Y'all
away
can just
from
shut
us
up.
like that.
She's gonna
How
be
you
taken
just take
away.
this baby
Y'all
from
don't come
us?
see my child.
That's
I'm
my
not
only
on
grandbaby. I don't do this,
Let's get
man.
some order. Ms. Nelson, it's borderline cruel the way you're acting. I mean, you know, there is a part of me that truly wants to understand your position, but I can't get anything from you. I mean, they are over there crying.
She wanted a relationship with my child. I was not even gonna let her be a part. She was like, I don't care if this not my grandbaby. I want a relationship with this child. She knew there was a possibility of someone else.
So wait. Your position was, I really from the get-go did not want them to have a relationship.
Right.
My mother went behind my back,
correct.
let them see the baby,
Correct.
then they got a bond with the baby, so I start feeling pressure. But it would have been my first choice if they had never had a relationship because I do not think Mr. Fuller is my child's biological father.
That's correct.
So you feel like all of this emotion and attachment is almost by default.
And she's acting like
Because I don't understand how you so angry with two people that love your child so much.
I'm not angry at them, but they have not been there. They have not been there.
So even in my chambers, I mean, because I had to prepare for y'all. I didn't know it. I did not know that the storm was coming like this, but I knew this was going to be a very interesting case. So I was reviewing some of the evidence, and you, Miss Nelson, you submitted some text messages yourself to the court. But what was so interesting is that the text messages themselves were irrelevant. I mean, they didn't really go to the crux of the paternity, but it was the way you had Mr. Fuller listed in your phone that caught my eye. You have him listed as baby daddy Devontae. So this begs the question, if you never, ever thought he was the father, why do you have him listed as baby daddy Devontae in your phone?
That's just a term that we use, and he knows we use that term.
So what, it's like a new word for sweetheart?
No.
No.
I mean, no, I'm serious. I mean,
He's the baby daddy. I feel in my heart he is. And the only reason she's saying that he's not because of
You
the other
can't
guy.
speak for me. You can't speak for me because
I know
the only
the reason
other reason why
why
the other guy felt the need to say Melani's not his because of all of this came about.
Who?
hold on. We're uncovering another stone.
If the other guy was on a break, we were going through our issues. The only reason how this came about of him saying that it's not his child was because my conniving mother, who's supposed to be a mother, but always going behind my back, ain't never been really there for me, but want to step in my business now and be a mother or a woman or whatever you want to call it.
Who's there
But
for
you
you?
can't-
Hold on.
Always been a foot.
Let her speak.
At the same time, like I said, that's how all this came about. So why
Now I understand.
he went
Hold on.
with me to
Hold-
Orlando. How did he
Let's
not
get
know?
some order. Ultimately, this is not about Melania. This court date is. But this confusion really isn't. It's really rooted in the fact that you had a relationship that you wanted. You went on break. It's always something on a break. Yours ended up being that you ended up with Mr. Fuller. After that was over, you got back together. This gentleman was accepting of Melania, might even be a potential father, but the workings of your mother to connect the baby with the Fullers is interfering with the relationship you really want.
Right.
Now we get it. I have the results. Ron,
I still love
Ma'am.
we've had one fiery day,
Yes, ma'am.
and I don't want a fiery result. Can you please stand between
Yes, ma'am.
the plaintiff and the defendant and make sure we stay calm? In the case of Fuller v. Nelson, when it comes to 3-year-old baby Melania, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Fuller, you are not her father.
I knew it. I knew I slept with. I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, you're gonna take this baby from us.
I know it's tough, guys, but relax, please.
You should apologize regardless.
It's not just my fault. You played a part in this too because it was your fault for going behind my back, leading them on to believe that.
Them on
when I knew.
You was there when I called
I
him.
knew, and I told you who the
You
father
was there.
was.
Ms. Nelson, I can't let you walk out of here without at least recognizing
I will.
the part you did have to play.
I did.
You did allow them
I did.
some time with that child that, I mean, they are just heartbroken. I understand more now why you were so hurt. Nonetheless, you got two people that really love your baby.
The only thing that I will apologize for is my part of letting you guys get attached, because that was my fault. I let them, but from the beginning, I told her. I did, but I still allowed her to because she said that she would love the baby. You understand what I'm saying? And being that, you know, with the other guy, the situation that was brought about, I didn't want my child to feel like she didn't have a father. So I did allow that. That's my fault.
Do you know who her biological
I
father
know.
is?
It's the other guy.
It is the other guy. Ms. Williams, you've asked the court to administer a DNA test to establish paternity for your 2-year-old daughter, Michaela Brown.
Yes, Your Honor.
You plan to file a claim asking that your daughter become the beneficiary of up to $153,000 in Social Security death benefits over the next 16 years because her potential father, Mr. Marquet Brown, is now deceased.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Potts, you and your daughter, Ms. Carr, have doubt that your deceased son is the biological father and in fact claim that any number of men in town could be this child's father.
Yes. Your Honor.
So, Ms. Williams, how has the deceased family got in the way?
Well, Your Honor, it's just, they're, first of all, in the way of me getting these benefits. They're just giving me problems. I'm having issues, and I just don't understand. I don't,
she's
clearly.
a whore.
Clearly, I don't
She's
understand.
a whore. And when this test proves that the baby is not my brother's baby, we want her to remove his name from the birth certificate. Why would you put his name on the birth certificate when he was dead and nobody knew that was his baby?
He knew it was his baby.
He didn't know.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful little girl. So, Ms. Carr, why do you have so much doubt?
It's not his baby. I was taking her to different men's houses to throw her private part a party, is what she would quote unquote say. Meaning she goes to different people's houses, men, and have fun and throw her private part a party. So how you know who your baby daddy is?
Wait. But she was with your brother. Why would you take her to a private parts party?
Because my brother had other girlfriends coming over and she was angry from that.
So you would take her where she wanted to go, or you planned the party?
I would take her where she wanted to go and pick her up. And I would meet some of the guys sometime.
So you know
yes,
for certain that
I
she was
know for
sleeping around
certain
because you
that
were
she was
there.
sleeping with other people, yes.
Is this true? Were you having parties with men? Were you
Can I show you,
sleeping
Your
with
Honor?
different men?
Yes, Your Honor. She was taking me to different men's house. It's not a secret, so why would I lie about the baby being his? It's not a secret.
It's not my brother's baby. Can I show you, Your Honor?
Please.
So I started out taking her to Compton, to this person's house, where I would drop her off and come back an hour and a half later and pick her up. And she would bring the person outside. Well, she brought this person outside to say hello to me, crack a couple of jokes, a little sweaty, messed up, hair messed up, and now it's time to go. A couple of days later, I'm taking her to Manchester and McKinley, dropping her off and picking her up. This person I never got a chance to meet, but it's a man, obvious, because she had me drop her off, and in that time frame, within that hour and a half, pick her back up. Then I take her here to downtown to her friend's house, who she spent multiple nights with, and I even let her use my bus pass to get back home with on several occasions from this location.
So she been to that location more than once.
Exactly. That's probably who the baby daddy is.
Okay. Compton?
And this was all during the window of conception.
Yes. Around all.
No.
Ms. Williams?
He was already dead when she was taking me on 5th and Main. He was already dead.
You don't throw your private part a party? Is that not your logo?
No.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, I took her downtown one time.
At the time, did you know she was cheating, or you know it now?
I know it now because I took her downtown. Well, I took her downtown one time, and that's the only time I knew she was cheating on my son.
These time frames are not, I know what I know.
All right, let's talk about the pregnancy. When did you actually realize you were pregnant?
About close to 2 months after I was incarcerated. I had to contact my cousin, and my cousin contacted Mr. Brown and let him know that I was pregnant.
No, Mr. Brown found out she was pregnant from a letter she sent to the house that was intercepted by my mom. And then my mom told him that the letter stated that she was pregnant. And my brother was like, no, she's not. And that's not my baby.
Okay. I have.
What do you have there, ma'am?
I have letters
May I see
coincide back and forth between us.
This first letter is dated November 5th. It's a letter from you to
Mr. Brown.
Okay. And it says, I talked to my cousin about 2 days ago and she told me she talked to you and let you know what's up. And you said, I'm crazy. Yeah, I guess I am. What is this about?
About me being pregnant. I was in the working dorm and I had to keep it a secret because if the people would have knew I was pregnant, they were going to move me out to general population.
And what's the other piece of evidence you have, ma'am?
This is another letter that I got back from him that he wrote.
This one's dated November 29th. And it's from
him to me.
Him to you. We're going to make it work. We're going to be together and we will get married. That's what he wrote to you.
He'll tell
and that
her
was
anything.
24 days later. You said what, Ms. Carr?
He'll tell her anything while she was in jail. He had girls coming over left and right. That's just something to feed her, to ease her mind while she was behind them bars.
Okay, so why are you so sure he's your child's father then?
Because I know what I was doing.
Yeah, you also slept with two of my other brothers. So how are you so sure that that's my brother's baby? How are you so sure?
Because I know.
Oh.
Are you sure of all your
You're
baby
not here
daddies?
for
Oh,
me,
okay then, but you need to be worrying about your own business instead of mine.
Come. I know what I do with mine.
Just like I know what I do with mine.
Throw at a party. She's a whore.
Wow. Did you get to speak to him any more about?
Yeah, we had a couple of telephone conversations when it was actually money on the phone for them to accept the collect calls. We had like maybe 3 or 4 conversations.
And what were those conversations about?
It's not his baby.
Did he ever say this isn't my baby?
No, not to me. I don't know what he said to anybody else. I can only tell you what he told me.
We heard the letter from her.
He told me that he wasn't the baby daddy.
That's what he told you?
Yes.
When she received the letter and brought it to his attention, because my mother told everybody else about the letter before we even brought it to his attention. So when we brought it to his attention, he told all of us at once that wasn't his baby.
Okay. So at what point, Ms. Williams, did you find out that he had passed away?
The day after. I called the house.
How long was that after the last time you spoke with him via mail?
I don't know mail, but maybe 3 weeks to a month with the phone call.
With a phone call?
I talked to him in the beginning of May.
So the last phone call you had with him is the beginning of May, and he passed away?
At the end of
May. At the end of May.
Your Honor, he passed away May 23rd, 2013.
So I hate to ask, but I ask respectfully, what happened to your son?
My son was standing down the street from the house getting ready to go party with his friends. The guy came down in a car and they shot him right there in the corner.
I'm so sorry. This before or after Michaela was born?
Before.
Before.
When I got the news, I was like I was close to the end of my pregnancy, but I was having issues, so they had me like hospitalized. I had like something called placenta previa. And, you know, I was constantly having issues in and out of the hospital. And when I got the information from Miss Carr, it kind of sent me over the edge. So they had to, like, rush me. Like, in the process, I had to get an emergency C-section. It was complications with the birth and everything.
Did you immediately ask about death benefits for your child? Or how did you proceed at that point?
Well, at the time I was incarcerated. So there was no death benefits to proceed. It was nothing I could do but just have the baby, have somebody come and pick the baby up.
That ain't my brother, baby.
And then when was the first time you two saw the baby?
We never saw the baby. She sent the baby home to one of her friends.
Because they wouldn't even come and pick the baby up.
You never
Your Honor, I was sick.
I had a conversation with Mr. Brown.
I was sick for 2 years.
But she never asked me to take the baby.
I had a conversation with Mr. Brown.
She never asked me to step up and take the baby.
I asked him, who gonna come and pick the baby up? Because I don't have nobody. I don't really have family members.
And he never mentioned that to us.
He was like, well, my mama said she don't want no more babies at this house.
I was sick, Your Honor. I was sick.
But she never even asked you to take
No.
care of it. She just assumed because she was sick that she wouldn't take the baby. She just was believing, if my brother even told her that my mother wouldn't take the baby. You as a mother could have stepped up the same way you were calling the house to talk to my brother and asked my mother. And then we would have bowed down as a family and took the baby. She never brought that baby to us. And that's where the doubt lies.
He was
And
like, well,
she
my
refused
mama.
the DNA test.
I've never
offered to
refused
pay
the DNA
half.
test.
I offered to pay half on the DNA test.
I don't have money to pay
You
half.
didn't
I
say
don't.
that. Your quote unquote response was, I'm not paying the other half. And I said, why not? The
So
baby's
you mean to
half
tell me
yours.
when I first
told
came
her-
back from
Your Honor, I
jail,
told
you
her
didn't
I would
ask me
give her
if she can get a
on
DNA
the
test?
DNA test. I told her I would pay the other $100 to do the DNA test. She want to do it.
Wait, so ultimately you feel like you were chasing her down, trying to get her to take a DNA test, and she was avoiding it?
How did they have to
she was
chase
at
me
the
down and I
house.
lived in their house? How did
You
they have to
asked her.
chase me down? I said I wouldn't pay for it. I never said I
So
wouldn't
now
take the test.
Michaela's almost 2 years old.
She is 2. She just turned 2 last week.
She just turned 2. Okay. Have you established any type of a relationship with her, Ms. Carr, Ms. Potts?
Yes, friends, they was staying in my house, and she asked me, she take her other little boy to school, she asked me, can I watch Michaela? I never told her no. I never told her no.
So you do have a bond. Does she treat you like you're her grandmother?
Yes.
She does?
Yes. Yes.
And when you look at her, do you see your son at all?
No.
No.
I even use the website where you put the 2 pictures in and it projects
Do y'all
an
hear this
image of what
ludicrousness?
the baby is supposed to look like. If I can give you this.
Yes. Jerome, will you hand me that?
And this baby is what the baby should look like. And that's not what Michaela looks like.
So you went to a website on your own.
Yes.
And you put in a picture of
Miss Williams.
Miss
and-
Williams and a picture of your brother.
Yes.
And the baby should come out looking like this.
Something like that.
So what we're looking at now is a picture of Michaela and a picture of the morphed version that you did, the mock-up, using the app.
Yes.
Where you put in both of the pictures.
Yes.
So when you came up with this, you said, this is absolutely
Not my brother's baby.
And you're concerned that the baby looks nothing like
Michaela.
That.
Or nothing like Marquez.
Your Honor, I have a picture too.
You
of me
do?
and
I'd like
Michaela.
to see that, Jerome.
Yes.
Michaela don't look like none of my mom's grandkids. For
They
the
don't
ones
look like
that's
each
all
other.
the
This is a
same,
picture of
like-
Michaela and Miss Potts. You say there's no resemblance?
No.
No.
Michaela doesn't look like my mother at all.
Is she her mom? Why does she have to look like y'all? I don't
It's
get
her
this.
daddy's mama.
She don't have to look nothing like
She
y'all.
should
She
look
looks like me
something
because
like
she's
us.
mine. She
Yeah.
looks like me. My DNA made her.
But ultimately, DNA does not lie. And I know that's why you're here today.
Okay, Your Honor, I have
Yes,
some more
ma'am.
evidence also.
Oh,
I
I'd
would
like
li-
to see that,
I
Jerome.
would like to know why, if they're claiming the baby isn't his, why did they put her name in the obituary?
Because my mother made me. I was forced to let that baby's name go inside of that obituary.
Because you didn't want to.
No, because it's not his baby.
He is survived by his children. And Michaela Brown is listed last.
Yes.
And why did you have her put it in the obituary?
I made her put it in there. She told me don't. I just did it because I'm a Christian person and trying to be faithful.
Really?
Really?
She let you come live there?
try to-
Really? You were
you know-
homeless.
I know I was, and I
Homeless
never
with
said no.
nowhere to go.
You're right.
So
and
really,
your mom
yes,
did take
she
me in.
did allow
and
you
I
to
thank
come
her
live
very
there.
much for helping me with
So
my kids
really, yes,
and
she
living
is a
there and all of
Christian.
this
You
other
can't
stuff.
take that from her,
but
really.
it's too many extras. It really is.
It's not a lot of.
But Miss Williams, you do understand the doubt though, right?
Yeah.
You understand why they have doubt,
Yeah, I
even though you
understand.
may not have
Yeah.
any. Okay.
But I just feel like if it's another man running around in this world that is her father, why would I deprive my child of a dad? Why? To blame it on somebody that cannot help me take care of this child.
Now you
It
know
just don't make no sense.
that the other man you messing with would not even claim your baby. So don't stand there and make it seem like you have somebody else on the list to run to that would be a great father to your child.
The
Because
two dudes
men
that I do
you
know
mess
about
with
take care of
and
their
the one
kids.
you messing with now will
Take care
not.
of his child.
Ladies, ladies, ladies. Ultimately, this is about Michaela. That's why
Yes.
we're here.
Yes.
What's interesting
They act like they care so much, but it's like I was sleeping in my car in the
By
front yard.
Choice.
By choice.
By choice.
Because you was knocking on our door at 2, 3 in the morning.
I got a
Only
key after
yours
that.
come
I got a
home
key after
at 3
that.
a.m.
You come
in the
home at that.
morning.
You come home at that
I can
time.
do whatever I
exactly.
want.
So that means
know
I can
who
too.
my kid's
so that
father
means I
is.
can too.
I'm not
You
here
do?
testing
All of them?
my baby. Every
Anyway,
last one of them.
Back to this. That
Okay.
matters.
Yes.
I have no doubt. Y'all
Yeah,
wanted this.
right.
I didn't need
All right,
this.
ladies. All right. I think it's time for the results. I do. Thank you, Jerome. Before I get to the results, I just want to explain how the lab was able to give us this result. Because the potential father is deceased, with permission from the next of kin, we were able to obtain a blood card. That blood card was collected from the LA County Coroner's Office. We used that sample to run the paternity test. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. The results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Williams v. Potts Carr, when it comes to 2-year-old Michaela Brown, it has been determined by this court that the deceased, Mr. Marquet Brown, was her father.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, you did that. I apologize. Thank you.
You know I love Michaela. I love Michaela because I took care of
We
Michaela.
needed to know.
We just want to
You
know
were
was that
doing
her
worse
dad or
things
not.
we needed to know. Don't cry. I'm sorry. We just needed to know, okay?
Mr. Lowe, you've opened your case because after years of questioning Ms. Meyer's fidelity, it was confirmed in court that Ms. Meyer cheated on you during the time of conception. Therefore, you have serious doubts that you are the father of 2-year-old Phelan. You say you need these answers because you now believe she's pinned a baby on you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Myers, you claim that you are certain Mr. Lowe is your daughter's father, and you intend to prove it today so you both can move forward and finally get married. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll start with you, Mr. Lowe. You believe she's pinning a baby on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, explain.
I've been a father to her other children that she has for a few years prior to Phelan being born. When Phelan was born, I was there and signed the birth certificate, and as well as I didn't grow up with my father. So when I found out that she was pregnant with Phelan, I definitely wanted to be Phelan's dad.
And so you feel like she is playing on your sympathies.
Correct.
I see tears in your eyes, Ms. Meyer. Explain to the court why you're feeling emotional.
I'm feeling emotional because I know for a fact that Phelan is Tyler's daughter, and it's just hard to go through this.
Why do you feel like he has doubts?
Your Honor, I feel like he has doubts because I was a stripper at the time of me getting pregnant, but I know for a fact that Phelan is Tyler's, and he was the only man that I was with.
Well, he says he thinks you're a cheater. Explain to the court why you think that, Mr. Lowe.
Some odd months ago, she had taken a lie detector test, and the results came back from that test that she had been lying about cheating, about hooking up from men from her job.
So you actually appeared in court over these cheating allegations.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that she's cheating on me.
I did not cheat on him. I have not ever cheated on him.
Have you been completely honest with Mr. Lowe about all of these issues? Have you been truthful with him?
For the most part.
Oh, for the most part. Well, what part have you not been truthful about?
And we're not gonna go into that.
Well, we gonna go into it in here.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Lowe, after that court appearance, what did you discover?
Once I got home from court, She admitted to cheating with one person.
And this was around the time of conception, presumably, or you wouldn't be here.
Correct.
Okay. So you finally got her to admit, after years and years
Yes.
of not being able to get a straight answer, you finally got her to just say, I did cheat. And so this is also after you already signed the birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're being dad.
Yes, Your
You're
Honor.
at the hospital.
Yep. All of that.
And I can see that's really, really hurts you.
Yes, more than you could possibly imagine.
What are you feeling in this moment?
Like my heart's been torn out of my chest. Like I'm like I've lost a best friend. Like I've lost a parent. Like my chance as being a father, because I grew up without my dad. So my opportunity to be a father was ripped from me. And that's something that meant a lot to me. It meant the world to me.
So for years, you felt this was your child. Phelan was yours.
Yes.
Until this bomb got dropped.
Exactly.
And you know, it's interesting because we do a lot of difficult things in this courtroom and we work through a lot of difficult things. But I think one of the most important things we're able to convey is how important fatherhood is to men. And I can see the tears in your eyes.
Yeah. I'm fighting them, but yes, it means it's my life. It's what I want to do. That's what I want to be the best at, if anything.
And this is because you are committed to breaking a generational curse that you faced,
Absolutely.
not knowing and not having a relationship with your dad.
Absolutely.
That's why we do this. So take me to the moment you find out you're pregnant, Miss Meyer. When do you find out? How do you find out?
It was June 2016. I realized that I had missed a menstrual cycle. So I took the pregnancy test. All of them immediately popped up positive. Tyler was sleeping. I wake Tyler up and I say, I have something to show you. Come to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom and immediately says, that's not my baby.
Talk about crushing. That was your immediate reaction?
Absolutely. I mean, after what I had found out in the line of work that she was in prior to that, how could I? Don't get me wrong, like there was a part of me that I had to hide almost inside of me that was, you know, just wanted to scream out, yes, I am so excited about all of this. And then at the end of it all, it comes out not to be mine. That's why we're here today, to try to get these answers so that we can move forward and I can continue being this happy father.
Can you talk to me about what your suspicions were, why you had them, and why this cheating thing just kept resonating with you?
Okay, there was one incident where I had went and picked her up from work, and she had walked directly right by the vehicle and got into another vehicle with a man and just drove off.
In front of your face?
Right in front of me, Your Honor. And she would call them sugar daddies, okay?
That's the name she would use?
Yeah, sugar daddies. Okay, you're not gonna tell me that you may just go hang out with a friend that's a guy. I totally get it, whatever. But you're not gonna keep going and going with your sugar daddy multiple different times throughout the week and just getting money for free. People don't give money for free for nothing.
Exactly. That don't sound good, Ms. Meyer. Is that a phrase you use to your boyfriend? These are my sugar daddies?
No.
So you saying he's lying, making this up today?
Well, when you have someone coming to your work trying to mess up the way that you make your money, you know, that's not the person you want to leave with at the end of the night. If I wanted to go hang out with my friends and have a good time and then come home, that's exactly what I did.
Not when it's...
Oh, you got yourself a little attitude, huh? Okay, that's exactly what you're gonna do, right? But are you also, look, you started this entire testimony, this entire hearing with tears in your eyes over the fact of how in the world how could I be here? How could I get here? You act like you Chicken Little and the sky is falling. I mean, no, really. How you understand now, if this is gonna be your course of action, then he's gonna think you're cheating. So did you witness anything else at her job that would cause you to believe that she was cheating? And not just cheating, we've established that,
right.
But during the window of conception,
So whenever I would go pick her up from work, I'd pop in, let her know, because now that obviously she couldn't have her cell phone like directly on her. So I'd pop in there, you say, hey, I'm here to get you from work or whatever, or, just walk around the club trying to find her. And they have these champagne rooms where they go and they have closed curtains, and multiple different times she'd be in there with multiple different guys. So, yeah.
Now, I can just ask you, Ms. Meyer, is the champagne room a necessary part of your work, something you're required to do?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You go in there and you dance for the customer. That's how you make the most of your money.
And so what is it about the champagne room, Mr. Lowe, that disturbed you and made you even more skeptical?
The fact that it's behind closed doors and there's couches in there. It's just not like a bar stool or like a chair or, there's like actual couches in there and you're not allowed to go in there. Not anybody can just walk in there. It's only the dancer and the one person.
So you're saying you have no idea what's transpiring in there.
And there's no surveillance in there, nothing.
And if you're in the champagne room and then later on I come get you and you go get in the car with somebody else, there's too much you don't know.
Exactly.
That's really what you're expressing.
And there's no communication in between me or her about any of it, because anytime that it's brought up, I'm just accusing and I'm just this and I'm just asking questions. That's all I was doing. But just, hey, could you fill me in a little bit about what goes on? Just not as an argumentative way, just as, hey, is what's going on.
You've brought a witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ma'am, please stand and step up to the podium. State your name for the record.
Dixie Morris.
Miss Morris, you are what relationship to Mr. Lowe?
His mother.
You are his mother. All right. So is it your opinion that your son is Phelan's biological father?
I do not.
You do not. And I can see how sad that makes you to say that.
I'm sorry. She was a whore.
Okay, let's be respectful, but I do need you to express what you're feeling.
My son, when he was approximately 14, 15 years old, he was involved in a dirt bike accident to where he had to go to the emergency room and have surgery on his scrotum, to where then the doctors were telling us that when the time came, he may not be able to produce children. Obviously, he's had other girlfriends in the past.
Tyler and Phelan look exactly alike. She is my only child, apart from my other ones, that has brown hair and brown eyes. They have the same nose, they sleep alike, and they both are bow-legged. Their legs
Maybe
look
the guy
exactly
she cheated with
the
had
same.
brown eyes, brown hair.
So you submitted an exhibit to the court, a leg exhibit, and it shows Mr. Lowe's bow legs and then Phelan's legs. And you believe they are so similar the way the knees are apart, and right in the calf area there's a space. For you, that's it.
No, not just that. They look exactly alike.
So when you look at this exhibit, Mr. Lowe, does it convince you? Does it say, you know what, I looked at that exhibit, I don't have any more doubt?
Sorry, Your Honor, but feet and legs does not confirm anything for me.
It doesn't confirm anything for me either.
Any children at that age can have bow leg and bow, ankles and knees. They're babies. I mean.
Have you thought, and I need to ask you this because unfortunately in this courtroom, we can only deliver the absolute truth, which is not necessarily what people want to hear. Have you thought about, if she's not mine, how will I go on?
If Phelan turns out not to be mine, I mean, we're gonna have to let her down easy, let myself down easy. I don't know how to go about it, Your Honor. I don't. If she does turns out that Phelan is mine, then you best believe she'll have the absolute best father that a little girl could have.
And what about you, Mom? Have you considered how your life would be changed if, in fact, Phelan is not your granddaughter?
I couldn't go on without her in my life. I'm sorry. And I know my son couldn't either.
You've truly bonded with this beautiful little girl. Ms. Meyer, I need to ask you, because you've had to come clean, you've admitted to some things. Is there anything you need to share or you need to be honest with before I go to these results?
There's no doubt in my mind, and I know for a fact that Phelan is Tyler's daughter.
Okay. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Lowe versus Meyer, when it comes to 2-year-old Phelan Lowe, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lowe, you are the father.
Now what? Now what? You and your mom. Now what?
Looks like you got a good baby daddy.
Just because you're a straight forward doesn't mean anything. Doesn't make me a cheater, doesn't make me anything. I told you, you were the dad.
You admitted to all those things. Let's move past it now. Moving on.
Not moving on. You had your doubts. That baby is yours.
And I've not denied it. That's why we're here today, just to verify it.
You did deny it or we wouldn't have been here.
Right.
Ms. Meyer, that reaction disappointed me. I know you felt vindicated. I know you felt like everybody thought you weren't telling the truth on this. But once you're proven to be a liar, you know, and liars crack me up when they got the nerve to all of a sudden, you're gonna be a liar and then be indignant and have the nerve to act like you're gonna get your feelings hurt when somebody don't believe you. Right?
It works both ways.
Hey, listen. If you an expert, come get the robe and the gavel and you sit your little behind up here. You need it? Huh? You wanna have it? Huh?
I'm good.
Cause you got vindicated now and you got your little toot up. But what I remember, and we can roll this back, is when you started this, you were in tears.
Yes, I was.
Exactly. Popping off at me, it does nothing for me. It doesn't bother me. I know girls like you. I represented girls like you. That's why I care about you. That's why I care about you. That's why I'm still sitting here looking at you. You want to change your life? Do you want to have the family?
Yes.
You can do it.